How to protect personal boundaries while commanding respect and avoiding rudeness, a win-win strategy. In today's interconnected world, maintaining personal boundaries while fostering respect in relationships is a delicate yet essential skill. Personal boundaries define our emotional, physical, and mental limits, protecting our well-being and identity. However, asserting these boundaries without coming across as rude or alienating others can be challenging. The key lies in a win-win strategy that balances self-respect with respect for others, creating harmonious interactions. This essay explores practical, empathetic, and assertive approaches to protect personal boundaries while commanding respect and maintaining kindness. Understanding personal boundaries. Personal boundaries are the invisible lines we draw to safeguard our time, energy, and emotional health. They reflect our values, needs, and comfort levels, guiding how we interact with others. For instance, saying no to excessive demands on your time or declining to engage in uncomfortable conversations are examples of setting boundaries. However, without clear communication, these efforts can be misinterpreted as coldness or hostility. A win-win strategy begins with self-awareness, understanding your limits and why they matter. This clarity allows you to communicate boundaries confidently and respectfully. The power of assertive communication. The cornerstone of protecting boundaries while commanding respect is assertive communication. Unlike passive or aggressive approaches, assertiveness conveys your needs clearly without diminishing others. For example, instead of snapping, "I'm too busy, leave me alone," try saying, "I value our connection, but I need some time to focus on my priorities right now." This approach is firm yet kind, reducing the chance of misunderstanding. To practice assertive communication, use I statements. Frame your boundaries in terms of your needs, such as, "I feel overwhelmed when I take on extra tasks, so I need to decline this one." Be clear and specific. Vague boundaries lead to confusion. For instance, if you need uninterrupted work time, specify, "I'm unavailable for calls between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Stay calm and composed. A steady tone and relaxed body language signal confidence without aggression. By expressing boundaries this way, you demonstrate self-respect, which encourages others to respect you in return. Empathy as a bridge to mutual respect. Empathy is a powerful tool for maintaining kindness while setting boundaries. Acknowledging the other person's perspective shows that you value the relationship, even as you prioritize your needs. For example, if a friend repeatedly asks for favors that drain your energy, you might say, "I understand you're going through a lot, and I want to support you, but I need to balance my own responsibilities right now." This validates their feelings while firmly stating your limits. Empathy also helps de-escalate potential conflicts. If someone reacts negatively to your boundary, listen actively to their concerns before calmly restating your position. This shows you're not dismissing them, which fosters mutual respect and reduces the risk of seeming rude. Consistency without rigidity. Consistency is crucial for commanding respect. If you set a boundary but frequently waive it, others may not take it seriously. For instance, if you've asked colleagues not to contact you after work hours, politely but firmly redirect after-hours requests to the next business day. Consistency reinforces your boundaries without requiring harshness. However, avoid being overly rigid. Flexibility in certain situations, such as accommodating a close friend in a genuine crisis, shows compassion and strengthens relationships. The key is to balance consistency with adaptability, ensuring your boundaries are respected without closing the door to meaningful connection. Handling pushback gracefully. Not everyone will respond positively to your boundaries, especially if they're used to overstepping them. When faced with pushback, remain calm and avoid taking it personally. Reiterate your boundary politely but firmly, using phrases like, "I understand your perspective, but this is important for me." If the other person persists, you may need to set consequences, such as limiting contact or stepping back from the relationship. This isn't rudeness. It's a natural outcome of prioritizing your well-being. For example, if a family member repeatedly disregards your request for privacy, you might say, "I need some space to recharge, so I'll be less available if these boundaries aren't respected." This approach is clear, respectful, and focused on your needs, minimizing conflict. Cultivating self-confidence. Commanding respect starts with self-respect. When you value your own boundaries, others are more likely to follow suit. Build confidence by reflecting on why your boundaries matter, whether it's preserving your mental health, ensuring productivity, or nurturing healthy relationships. Practice self-care, such as journaling or meditation, to reinforce your sense of self-worth. A confident demeanor naturally discourages boundary violations and reduces the need for confrontational responses. The win-win outcome. Protecting personal boundaries while commanding respect and avoiding rudeness is not just possible, it's transformative. By using assertive communication, empathy, consistency, and self-confidence, you create a dynamic where your needs are honored and relationships thrive. This win-win strategy fosters mutual respect, reduces conflict, and empowers everyone involved. Ultimately, setting boundaries isn't about pushing others away. It's about creating space for authentic, respectful connections that benefit all parties. In conclusion, mastering the art of boundary setting requires intention and practice. By communicating clearly, empathizing with others, staying consistent, and handling pushback gracefully, you can protect your personal space while fostering respect. This approach not only safeguards your well-being, but also models healthy behavior for others, creating a ripple effect of kindness and mutual understanding. Have you ever ended a call, left a meeting, or walked away from a conversation feeling a quiet sense of dread? That knot in your stomach when you've agreed to something you didn't want to do. That mental replay where you gave away your time, your energy, a piece of your peace, all to avoid being seen as rude. We've all been there. The demand from a colleague that blurs into your evening. The family member's friendly advice that feels like a command. The social invitation that feels more like an obligation. And in that moment, we face a false choice. Be the nice person and say yes, sacrificing our own well-being. Or be the jerk and say no, protecting our sanity but potentially burning a bridge. But what if I told you that this is a false dichotomy? What if there was a third path? A win-win strategy that allows you to protect your personal boundaries while not only maintaining respect, but actively commanding it. This isn't about building walls. It's about installing a graceful, well-marked gate. And the key to that gate is a simple, powerful shift, moving from a mindset of confrontation to one of clarity. The first pillar of this strategy is to master the language of the empathic no. This is not a blunt, one-word rejection. It's a three-part sequence that validates the request while holding firm on your limit. It sounds like this. First, you show you understand. I understand this project is a top priority and you need it done quickly. Then, you state your boundary clearly. Unfortunately, I cannot take on any new tasks before the deadline on Friday. And finally, you offer a forward-looking alternative. I would be happy to look at it first thing Monday morning, or I can show you where the files are if you'd like to start sooner. Do you see what happened? You weren't a roadblock, you were a redirect. You respected their need while also respecting your own capacity. This isn't rudeness, it's professionalism. It's reliability. The second pillar is to embody respectful, nonverbal communication. Your words can be perfect, but if your body is screaming apology, the message is lost. Stand or sit upright. Make calm. Direct eye contact. Keep your voice steady and neutral, not pleading or aggressive. You are not asking for permission to have a boundary. You are calmly informing others of where your line exists. This physical poise broadcasts an unshakable inner confidence that commands respect before you've even finished your sentence. Finally, and this is the true win-win, we must reframe the entire goal. Your aim is not to make the other person happy with your answer every single time. Your aim is to be clear, consistent, and fair. True respect is not born from perpetual agreement. It is forged in the knowledge that you are a person of your word, that your yes means yes and your no means no. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, you train the world how to treat you. People begin to value your time because you show that you value it. They trust your yes more because they know it's not given under duress. So, the next time you feel that familiar knot forming, pause. Remember that the choice is not between doormat and dictator. Take a breath, plant your feet, and choose the third path. Choose the empathic no. Choose clear, calm communication. Choose to see boundary setting not as an act of self-defense, but as the ultimate act of mutual respect. Protect your peace without sacrificing your relationships. Because a well-placed boundary isn't a rejection of others. It is the foundation of your respect for yourself. And in the end, that is what the world will reflect back to you.